Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, February 2. The Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, will be rolling out a quick response team in the coming weeks to respond to intergang activities. Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson says the move is to ensure a faster response and ability to suppress flare-ups and get persons in custody. He was addressing a virtual press briefing on Monday.
They will be trained in the tactical use and are being trained in the tactical use of motorcycles and their weapons to respond quickly to gang activities and other threats to the lower part of Kingston. We're continuing that process and it's going to expand up into the northern part of Kingston and St. Andrew.
Major General Anderson says the JCF has also stepped up its policing strategy to intercept gangs as they move across the country.
Because we've seen this fluidity of operation, we have put in measures along our roadways to intercept and interrupt this and to detect. We are getting good intelligence on how people are moving and the routes they're taking.
The police commissioner says these strategies are aimed at creating an environment of greater safety as the JCF continues to focus more on public safety and public order. In the meantime, Major General Anderson is warning persons who are intent on causing harm to family members due to internal disputes that the likelihood of getting away with it is very low. The commissioner gave the warning as he condemned the fatal shooting of a woman on Sunday while she was worshipping at a church in Trelawney. He says the key suspect is now in custody.
In all of these cases, we have persons in custody. These cases have been solved. There may be one or two people we are still after, but largely you will not get away with it. Our intelligence resources are adequate to find out what has happened in these cases, and our responsiveness and our investigators have been following up very rapidly. Some of these cases are wrapped in 24 to 48 hours, some take longer.
In other news, more than 120,000 persons have benefited from interventions implemented by the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF, under its Basic Needs Trust Fund program. Managing Director of JSIF, Omar Sweeney, gave the update on the program, which is now in its 9th cycle, at a JIS think tank on Monday.
Since BNTF 5 in 2003, $28.51 million has been used to invest in more than 180 projects, benefiting more than 120,000 persons.
Mr. Sweeney says the fund is used to cover 5 specific areas. They are education and human resource development, access to drainage, water and sanitation systems, health and livelihood enhancement.
Our investment in education utilizes more than 50% of the resources. We've done more than anything else, classroom spaces, and on the physical infrastructure side.
The Basic Needs Trust Fund is a special account developed and hosted within the Caribbean Development Bank and borrowing member countries, BMCs. Money collected is then redistributed to BMCs in the form of grants to allow for the development of critical infrastructure and social services within the countries. Participants of the Rural Economic Development Initiative Ready2 have received COVID-19 equipment as they strive to manage the pandemic and their professional duties. The participants consist of small entrepreneurs in the tourism and agriculture sectors who are trying to recover from the economic ravages of the virus. Agriculture Minister Floyd Green handed out the medical-grade personal protective equipment packages to the beneficiaries during a recent ceremony in St. Anne.
This program underscores that the government of Jamaica is serious about providing for our rural entrepreneurs. That's what our farmers are. They are rural entrepreneurs, and we are working with them to ensure that they can maintain their production numbers, sustain their farms, and partake in climate-smart agriculture.
Meanwhile, Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says he's pleased that the provision of the PPEs is part of the initiative.
It is a huge exercise that we are on here, but it is a critical exercise because it is what is going to define the Jamaica in the new norm. Because the new norm is not going to be about absolutely new things. The new norm is going to be how to live with COVID, manage COVID, overcome COVID, thrive with COVID.
Ready2 is being implemented at a cost of $52.46 million with a special COVID-19 resilience and capacity building sub-project for agriculture and community tourism enterprises. It's funded by the World Bank and administered by the Jamaica Social Investment Fund. 1,660 farmers, community tourism service providers, and RADA extension officers are listed among those directly benefiting from the program. And finally, Technology Minister Daryl Vaz has announced plans to have at least 3 Wi-Fi hotspots in each constituency across the island. Minister Vaz made the announcement during a tour of Southeast St. Ann last Thursday to assess the level of internet connectivity required for the facilities identified in the parish. He was accompanied by the Member of Parliament and technical officials from the Universal Service Fund. The facilities to receive Wi-Fi hotspots in Southeast St. Ann are the Claremont Library and Rural Retreat Community Centre, the Monigue Community Centre and Monigue Library. Minister Vaz says the COVID-19 pandemic has brought on a more urgent need for connectivity in rural areas. The Technology Minister says he has written to Members of Parliament asking them to recommend 3 sites for Wi-Fi hotspots in their constituencies. Following this, a proposal will be submitted to the Ministry of Finance for consideration in the new financial year. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.